After the 9/11 incident on the Twin Towers in America, when there was panic all over the world, at that time Osama was living in a guest house in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. During this period, he was continuously giving interviews to his commanders, and at the same time, he was planning another major attack on the USA. But as soon as he came to know that the US Army was going to launch a major military operation in search of him in Afghanistan, he shifted with his companions into the mountains of Tora Bora in Afghanistan. He knew that in Tora Bora, the US commandos would never be able to catch him because the mountains of Tora Bora were not ordinary mountains, but a maze. Actually, there was a natural network of thousands of caves and tunnels, which had been strengthened during the war against the Soviet Union by the Taliban Mujahideen. In that maze, every fighter had 100 ways to hide. Not only this, the geography and traditions of Afghanistan both posed huge challenges to outsiders. I am saying tradition because among the people there, a centuries-old code called Pashtunwali exists. A special rule of this is Melmastia, meaning hospitality. Now Osama was a guest of the Taliban, a rebel group of Afghanistan. So, protecting him from US commandos was a matter of honor for these tribal people. The second important rule there is Nanawatai, meaning giving refuge to someone at any cost. So, for these tribes, handing over Osama to the USA was like selling their soul. Because of this, America tried to buy some local leaders of Tora Bora by giving them money. But for the tribal leaders, loyalty to their people meant much more than money. Even then, the CIA and American Special Forces managed to bring some Afghan fighters onto their side. Meanwhile, on November 30th, 2001, when the US launched a large-scale attack on Tora Bora, Osama went into his strong fortifications. American bombers kept dropping daisy cutter bombs continuously from the sky for around 56 hours. The CIA and American Special Forces, along with some local Afghan fighters, camped at every exit route from Tora Bora. From the US military operation, it seemed that Osama would either be caught or killed that day. But the problem was that the number of US Army commandos was quite low, and due to the harsh geography, they were unable to operate there successfully. So the very local fighters whom America had given money to catch Osama betrayed the CIA and helped Osama escape from Tora Bora. For 18 consecutive days, US commandos kept searching for Osama in Tora Bora. Meanwhile, Osama, along with some of his trusted fighters, continued moving in the freezing cold, hungry and thirsty, far from Tora Bora towards the Pakistan border. He crossed the snowy mountains on foot, crossed Pakistan's porous border, and then he disappeared from the world's radar, from the eyes of satellites, from everywhere. After crossing Pakistan's porous border, in January 2002, Osama hid in a tribal area there. This area was called FATA, Federally Administered Tribal Area, which was in the south of Pakistan's Waziristan region, where not the Pakistani government, but the local Pashtun tribes ruled. Here also Osama was protected by the hospitality code of Pashtunwali. In the Waziristan tribal area, Osama never stayed in one place for long. Tribal fighters kept shifting him from one village to another, from one house to another, so that American drones and spies would not get any clue about him. During this period, Osama had almost no contact with the outside world. He was completely dependent on his trusted fighters and commanders. After leaving the Waziristan tribal area, in 2003, Osama hid in the Swat Valley of Pakistan, which is called the Switzerland of Pakistan. It was a tourist destination, so no one suspected that the world's biggest terrorist could be there. Here, his youngest wife, Amal al-Sada, who belonged to Yemen, met Osama along with her children. 1 year after this, Osama, along with his family, shifted to an ordinary house in Haripur. Haripur was a peaceful area and not very far from Islamabad. Osama stayed in this house for about 2 years. Slowly, Osama was getting tired of this constant movement because now his family was also with him. He knew that now he needed a permanent hideout where he could spend the rest of his life in peace. Osama knew that in an area like Haripur, American drones could detect him anytime. So he made a major decision to leave the mountains and disappear among the city's crowds. He assigned the task of arranging a safe and secure house to Abu Ahmad al-Kuwaiti. Al-Kuwaiti was Osama's special courier. Now, this Abu Ahmad al-Kuwaiti is a very important character in this story. He was a Pakistani Pashtun who grew up in Kuwait and was a very close associate of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of 9/11. Khalid Sheikh had introduced him to Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan before September 11th. Al-Kuwaiti was intelligent and a master of operational security. He knew how to work without leaving any digital footprint. As soon as Osama ordered him to arrange a permanent and secure house, Abu Ahmad al-Kuwaiti and his younger brother Abar Kuwaiti started searching for a safe place. In 2004, al-Kuwaiti bought a plot with the fake name Muhammad Arshad, and this plot was only 1.3 kilometers away from the Pakistani military academy in Abbottabad. When it came time to build the house there, the Kuwaiti brothers did not trust any architect or contractor. They themselves designed the house and built it under their supervision. The house was designed in such a way that Osama would not be visible to any outsiders under any circumstances. This entire compound was spread over a large area, surrounded by boundary walls up to 12 feet high. And the balcony on the top floor was enclosed with a 7-foot-high wall so that if Osama came outside for fresh air, he would not be seen by any outsider or drone. 1 month after the construction of this compound was completed, one night in 2005, Osama bin Laden, along with his family, quietly shifted into it without anyone noticing. After shifting into this compound in Abbottabad, Osama's world had become extremely limited. He lived on the second floor with his youngest and favorite wife Amal al-Sada, and his 2 elder wives lived on the first floor with their children, where there was often tension. On the ground floor lived al-Kuwaiti with his brother Abar and his wife Bushra. There was no internet in the house, but Osama's computer had a strange world, filled with American intelligence documents, terrorist training manuals, as well as Japanese animations for children like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. For the neighbors, Osama's house was a mystery. They called it the Waziristan Haveli because they believed the people living there were wealthy and angry Pashtun from Waziristan. When a child's ball would accidentally go inside the compound, al-Kuwaiti would never return it. Instead, he would give that child 100 rupees so that they could buy a new ball. The children found this very strange. No one from Osama's house ever attended any wedding or local event. They never spoke to anyone. When some local residents asked al-Kuwaiti about this, he said that his family had disputes with other tribes, so they stayed hidden. The neighbors only knew that a very rich man lived inside, who loved his privacy intensely. On one hand, Osama was living in this luxurious imprisonment, while on the other hand, CIA agents were desperately searching for him. After years of effort, in 2010, the CIA got a breakthrough when they tracked a phone call of Osama's special man, Abu Ahmad al-Kuwaiti. That one phone call led the CIA directly to the door of the Waziristan Haveli. When the CIA suspected that Osama was in this compound in Abbottabad, they launched a fake polio vaccination program there to confirm Osama's identity. After confirming his identity, on the night of May 2, 2011, the CIA launched Operation Neptune Spear. That night, when American commandos landed in Osama bin Laden's secret compound, they killed him and ended a 10-year-long game of hide-and-seek forever. After this operation, the biggest question was raised. When Osama's compound was only 1.3 kilometers away from the Pakistan military academy, was it possible that the Pakistani army and its intelligence agency ISI had no idea that Osama was living so close to them? Some Pakistanis believe that after September 11th, a very small and secret department was formed inside the ISI, whose job was only to manage Osama as an asset, and even other ISI officers and the Pakistani government had no knowledge of this department. After September 11th, Osama's safety did not depend only on the Kuwaiti brothers, but also on that secret system of ISI, which kept Osama safe in the crowds of cities. But the Pakistani government completely denied these allegations, saying that Osama being found near their military academy was just a coincidence and a major intelligence failure.